your album is called Honeymind. That is such an amazing title. First of all, congratulations on it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. When I saw it, I was like, where did the title come from?
Well, the title came from, I was hiking with my fiance, his name's Noah, and he and I were just kind of loopy and enjoying being together, and I was feeling really happy, and he was asking me to describe, what was making me so happy, because I was in such a great mood, and I was trying to think about, like, when you're in love and you have the right person, like, what does that really do to your brain, to your mind? And when I think about my mind, I think about a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry and a lot of things like jutting out and kind of crisscrossing and getting in each other's way. And being in love, I don't think gets rid of any of that. Like, it's still there. It just, coats it with something. Like, it's a little smoother and softer and sweeter. And started thinking about just, like, honey dripping in there, and Honeymind was born, and then I wrote a song, which is on the record, called Honeymind, and then I thought it was nice for the whole record.
I love that. Oh my goodness, that was like a love lesson too at the same time. And you write such beautiful love songs. Has that always been easy for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you're a musician. I feel like the easiest things to write and sing about are what's really true and what's on your mind and what's on your heart. And because of the relationship I'm in right now in the last couple of years, the thing that's on my heart and my mind is how much I love it.
It's where you are. The art is reflecting that.
Exactly. So it is really easy. He's a wonderful muse. He's, he really brings out the greatest in me, and I feel lucky to be with him. And so it's very easy to write about him, for sure.
That's so beautiful. I love that. And then you also have a cute little dog named George. Do you write and sing songs to George at all?
I do sing around George. He doesn't seem to care. He doesn't really, like, when I first got him as a puppy, I was like, I'm gonna make one of those cute videos where he's sitting on the piano with me and he's looking at me while I sing. He could not give a crap. He just, like, wants to either be pet or fed or snuggled.
Oh.
He's not very musically inclined, but he's really cute, so it makes up for it.
He's super cute. Sure he don't even wag his tail just a little bit, or his ears don't go up when he hear the music?
No, he's like, why aren't you just talking to me and petting me?
I understand that. Now, it's Pride Month, and you proposed to Noah first. I think this is adorable, but then he also proposed to you, too?
Yeah.
Love that.
He did it back to me. Well, that was me to him, because obviously I had to do it up. But yeah, I think one of the wonderful things about queer relationships, I mean, there's lots of wonderful things, but there's like no preconceived roles, So everything feels really even and equal, and I got to make him, feel like princess for a day, and then he did it right back to me and sent me on like a scavenger hunt and threw me a little barbecue with our friends and gave me a pretty ring.
It's nice. I'm looking.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
gotta show it off. And then you've been an amazing representation for the queer community. Like, how does that feel? Do you feel like you are or no?
I mean, I try. I certainly don't feel like I know any more than anybody else. I don't have any answers or anything, but like, anytime I can share just like the joy of my relationship or the honesty of it, or write songs about my specific relationship, it feels very natural and organic to me because that's my experience. And I think I take for granted like how powerful that is just to be able to state that as specifically as possible, because I, grew up having a couple of touchstones, but I also wish there would have been a greater kind of array of examples of like happy, healthy, complex queer relationships, and not just stories about like, trauma and oppression. And
that's a great point.
They're important for sure, but I think just seeing...
And there's beauty in it.
Exactly, there totally is beauty in it, but just seeing like a normal kind of modern human queer relationship, I think I would have loved to see. So I'm happy to just try to be as authentic as I can be.
As you have been. And that's gonna inspire so many more. So if anyone, who would you say was that person for you that was your inspiration?
Oh gosh. I mean, Elton John is a pretty huge.
Elton.
Like
definitely
somebody who's leading with their talent and their art, and just brilliant, and then also happens to be queer, which I really love.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Broadway people, I grew up doing musical theater, Broadway is your world too. And
yes, it is.
There's so many amazing, queer, proud people making Broadway, performing on Broadway, on the crew on Broadway, producing on Broadway. It's a really queer art form, so growing up in it and being surrounded by, queer people who are super comfortable in their skin, I think helped me to just get comfortable really quickly.
You are an Oscar away from an EGOT. Yes, y'all. Like, you've accomplished so much. Do you ever have a pinch me moment? Like, are you ready to go for the Oscar? Like, what are you thinking with that?
If it comes, it comes. I'm not trying to like rush anything. I feel like it's just want to pick projects that are like feel, authentic and exciting, and I feel passionate about. But in terms of a pinch me moment, you know her well, but Beyonce came to. I did this show called Dear Evan Hansen on Broadway, and Beyonce came to see it, and
How did that feel?
I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I don't know how to behave around. Like,
I know, no one does.
She is crazy. It was amazing. So I consider, just like you, she's like one of those live performers. When you see them, you're just like, you're giving everything you have. So to be able to give back to her was amazing, and she was lovely and gracious, and can't believe she took the time to come say hi, and
She's gracious like that. Definitely. Now, before we move on, I gotta ask, because I know I'm a theater head and I was in Color Purple on Broadway, and a lot of times we never wanted to know who was in the audience when big names would come through, because it would make you nervous, right? So did you know she was out there before, or did you find out after?
So I started the run of the show not wanting to know when people were there, but then I kept spotting people by accident.
Okay, that could happen.
I know, and I was taking me out of it, so I was like, why don't you just tell me up front so I have all the info, like give me a list every night. So I did know she was coming, and even if I didn't, I would have figured it out quickly, because she was sitting on the aisle and she's got like unbelievable hair. So
she can't be missed.
You just see like the silhouette of it, and you're like, that's her. That's Beyonce.
See, that's tricky for me, because a lot of times when I'm performing, I don't care what it is, if it's Broadway on the stage and I see people I know, I want to start talking to them. And I'll be like, Jennifer, you singing, you can't talk, and go back into song. So it's kind of tricky.
Now I'm playing I'm doing a residency at the Palace on Broadway.
Yes,
congratulations.
Y'all caught that?
So it's incredible to perform as myself anywhere, and I love like the freedom of that. But to get to do that on Broadway, it's sort of a weird feeling, because I'm so used to, like you were saying, when you're on a Broadway stage, there's like that remove, and you're in character, and you're in like this piece. But in this case, I get to just be totally myself, and I can see people and talk to people. So I'm trying to embrace that, like informality, and keeping it a little more casual. But it's tough in such a beautiful like Broadway house to feel like you can't. Like exhale a little bit, you know what I mean?
I totally understand. Well, you better get used to it, because more and more of us gonna pop up and be at your shows, and you're going on a tour later. So are you ready for that? And what can we expect? Yeah,
I'm excited. I've never had the opportunity to like kind of get a show going and get it well oiled, because I'm doing 3 weeks in the Broadway house before we go on tour. So you get a chance to really like get used to it and find it in your voice and your body, so that by the time we go on tour, it's gonna be real, like a tight run ship. So I'm really excited. I love to perform live. Is like it's the best part of the whole job. Yes. Oh yeah.
Wow. You're a true performer. I love it. I heard you say get it in the body. Once it's in the body, because sometimes we perform it, sometimes we're in our head. That means you're kind of like at the first phase of it, but you got it when it's in the body. And I love that you use that.
Yeah, you need. I mean, especially as singers, we know it's like you have to be using everything you have, not just like this little section of yourself. I sometimes get notes from my legs, you know what I mean? So, but I'm really excited to go. I'm going to be a lot of stuff from Honeymind, from my new album, but also some Broadway things, some of my old songs, just a little amalgam of all the good stuff.
Wow, you stay busy, honey. I want to be like you. Okay, I was just thinking of this the other day, and I still don't know the answer to it. So what was your first concert you ever been to?
When I was like, I want to say 6 or 7, I went to see Britney Spears. Whoa. With my older sister. My older sister, who was like, 10 at the time, and she was obsessed with her. And NSYNC was opening for them too. And the only 2 things I remember were, first I was like, those boys is cute. And the second thing was just I cried a lot because it was really loud. So it was just too loud. I was very young, and I didn't expect it to be such a wall of sound. And I got really overwhelmed, and I couldn't really take it in. But at least I saw Britney, you know what I mean?
At least I saw Britney, that's all that matters. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.